identify some of these people, you know, in your mind, if that is considered.
I think that anything's possible. I don't believe that where we're at today that is going to happen, but I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow or 6 months from now. That would be, there's been discussions with the prosecutors that, what ifs, and I think we would be open to listen or discuss if that door opened for us. But I also believe that any considerations or anything that would be even dreamt about discussing with him, the families over here would be involved in that. I just don't think it's going to happen.
My question is, I know everybody here wants to know the families. In the event that Lonnie passes away in jail because this case is going a long way,
Mr. Franklin's health or issues with health down the road, we have no control over that. If he were to pass away in jail, I think that's what you're saying. And it's just, everything comes to an abrupt end, basically, as far as what we've connected him to. We would continue to work on cases to try to resolve for these 48 families. Okay.
My question is there a possibility while he was in the military that they knew some other victims? Because people in the military do get leads.
Well, that's something that we will look at. Mr. Franklin was in Europe for the majority of the time that he was in the military, but it's something that we will explore at some point. But our launch point right now is May of '76. So I'm not telling you that we won't look at that, or that we haven't looked at that. It's just not something we're going to discuss right now. Okay?
Let me first of all thank the gentleman in the church for allowing me to have this here. I have a question that's more about L.A.P.D. and policy rather than civil protective. You guys have been working very hard, and you mentioned two other, I won't say serial killers, but other perpetrators in the community. What's now going to be in place? What type of policy, what type of research is going to be in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again in their families? I know you guys could have prevented this. Who can prevent one individual doing that? But is there going to be any type of added instruments that you guys are using to maybe catch him or catch the perpetrators faster and allow this to happen one at a time?
Well, thanks, Skip, for that question. One of the things that of course, we've done is we've enhanced the department's DNA capabilities and have really embraced forensic science as a way to make quick linkages to these type of crimes. And that's how all these linkages have been made. All these cases that Dennis has talked about have been tied together either through ballistics, advances in ballistic comparison, or advances in forensic science, particularly DNA. So those are the most important things. And then also, just as important, but on the human side of it, Chief Parks was instrumental when he had my job. Or I have his job, I can't remember which way it goes. But either way, putting together a cold case squad, which I will continue not only to have, but to expand on, because I believe that the efficacy or the effectiveness of the police department and the way it's viewed in its community and its ability to solve cases is extremely important. If you don't believe that we can do our job, then you're tempted either to not help us or to try to do it yourselves. And I don't want either of those. I want you to have a police department you can depend on. And one of the ways we do that is by putting our resources in the right place.
Just to add to that, Skip, the number of investigators, even though we've talked about this before, the number of murders in the city of Los Angeles back in 1992 was pushing 1,100 murders in the city. And this last year we had 297, and we're on track somewhere near that record level. Those are records from 1967. We haven't seen homicide rates since 1967. But that doesn't mean we've taken a whole bunch of homicide investigators and shipped them off to doing burglaries. That's not the case. Homicide investigations dating all the way back to into the 90s are still cases that are open and that we're very interested in. This past summer, Captain Lauer's Criminal Gang Homicide Division, for the second year in a row, teamed up with the FBI and ran a task force for 90 days. Last year, we solved 27 additional murders in those 90 days. This past summer, we solved 50 additional cases. So that's nearly 80 cases, 80 homicide cases that have been cleared based upon relationships and partnerships with people that we might not have been in partnership before. There's also currently a project with the FBI that we are working with in South Bureau, where we are sending 4,500 murder books back to Virginia to be scanned into a disc with a search capability that will allow us to bring together. We have cases that we can bring together with technology through DNA and ballistics and things like that, that we will now, pardon me?
What is the murder?
I'm sorry. The murder book is the book that's compiled as part of an investigation, a murder investigation. So I apologize, thanks for helping me out there. But that book that contains all of those, all of the leads and clues and information that was taken and put together in each one of those investigations isn't, it's all hard copy, and it's all stored in archives or in warehouses or in police stations. In South Bureau, we're taking all of those cases dating back nearly 20 years, or those books that amount to about 4,500 books, and having them all scanned, and a program is being worked out to make all of that information searchable. So that kind of ability to link cases, link information, link telephone numbers, link car descriptions, link individuals together will be a greater ability for us. So we're taking advantage of science, we're taking advantage of partnerships, and not losing sight that the number one investigation for all of us are homicide investigations, because there is no greater crime than that. Okay. That wraps it up for today. Thank you very, very much for all of you coming today. Thank you to the media for taking your time out